In Python, we can create an ordered collection of objects using the sequence type list. We already know about text sequence types from learning about strings. Python represents a string as a sequence of characters. The list data type stores a sequence that is any size and contains any mix of data types. This list contains a string, an int, and a float value. Lists can even store other lists. This is an example of what is called a nested list, because there is another list nested inside of it. So what can we do with lists in Python? We saw in the last video that we can start by creating a list using this syntax. We have a descriptive variable name that we're using to store our list to access it later. The square brackets to tell Python that we're creating a list data type, and then the elements of the list inside the brackets separated by commas. This list has two elements. After a list is created, you can change and add to it like any other variable. And this means it pretty quickly becomes impossible to remember how long your list is. Take a contacts list in your phone app, for example. If you want to tell the user how many contacts they have, you would need to check how many elements are in the list that stores the contacts in the code. To do this, Python has yet another built-in function called length. And you can see it here with all of the other built-in functions that we've learned so far. So if we use this list of ingredients as the parameter for the length function, we get the result 3, because that's the number of elements that's in the list. Because strings are also a sequence type, you could get the length of any string as well with this built-in function. So we now know how to see how many elements are in our list, but how do we see what the elements actually are? Let's take a look at a list of stock prices. We can print the whole list by accessing it using its variable name. But what if we just wanted to know the second stock in the list? We can access a specific list element using its list index in square brackets. So to get the second element, we have the stock history variable name and its index in the square brackets. So we can see in the Python console that when we use this syntax, it prints out the second element, 119.14. Did you notice something odd here though? Why did I use the list index 1 to get the second element? Why not 2? In computer programming, we start counting the indices of a sequence from 0, like this. This is because of the way that the computer stores information in its memory. In Python, we can use indices like this to get the values of our list. But we can also use negative indexing if we need to count from the back of the list. So if we wanted to know what the last stock price was that was added to the list, you would get that using the index -1. The last way that we can access lists is by slicing whole chunks of the list using the slicing operator, a colon. The first number tells Python where to start the slice. The second number says where to end the slice. You could think of each slicing index as putting a cut in the list at the start of both indices. Get some practice creating and accessing lists using all 3 of those methods using the next activity.